Welcome to the realm of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Enjoy listening. Ethan Hart was a man of power. As the CEO of one of the most influential tech companies on Earth, he was used to commanding attention. Yet in that grand conference hall filled with world leaders, scientists, and extraterrestrials, he found himself distracted. His eyes kept drifting towards her. She sat among the alien delegation, her pink hair flowing like silk, her icy blue eyes locked on him with an intensity that sent shivers down his spine. Her presence was magnetic, otherworldly. She wore a flowing, white outfit that seemed to shimmer under the lights, molding to her delicate figure in ways that defied earthly fashion. She was breathtaking. Ethan's heart raced as her gaze met his, a spark igniting between them. He could have sworn she smiled, just for a second. When her eyes lingered, he dared to tilt his head, subtly signaling toward the exit. Her eyes widened, curiosity flickering before she gave the slightest nod. Moments later, Ethan slipped out of the conference room, his heart pounding. He leaned against the wall, waiting, hoping. He barely had time to catch his breath before she appeared, her presence like a whisper. Her movement was so graceful, so quiet, he wondered if she was even touching the ground. She looked up at him, her blue eyes sparkling with intrigue. "You summoned me?" Her voice was soft, musical, laced with an accent he'd never heard before. I just wanted to meet you," Ethan admitted, his usual confidence wavering. "I'm Ethan. Ethan Hart." He extended his hand, a habit of human introduction. She looked at his hand, her head tilting in curiosity. Then, mimicking him, she reached out, her fingers brushing his. Her touch was cold, electrifying. "Ilara," she whispered. "I am called Ilara." There was a brief silence, tension hanging heavy between them. Ethan cleared his throat. "Would you like to get some air? There's a garden on the lower level." Ilara's eyes sparkled, her lips curving into a faint smile. "I would like that." They found themselves outside, under the soft glow of the moon, in a secluded garden adorned with delicate lights and a single hammock swaying gently under the breeze. Ilara's eyes lit up as she approached it, her fingers grazing the fabric. "What is this?" "It's a hammock," Ethan explained, his voice warm. "You can sit and sway. It's relaxing." Ilara's curiosity was contagious. She gingerly sat on the hammock, her body weightless as she began to sway, a soft laugh escaping her lips. "It feels like floating." Ethan couldn't help but smile. "You look like you were made for it." Without overthinking, he took a seat beside her. The hammock shifted, forcing them closer, their shoulders brushing. He could feel her cold aura like a whisper of winter. They sat in comfortable silence, the world around them fading. Ethan dared to speak. "Why did you come here?" "To Earth, I mean." Ilara's gaze remained on the sky, her eyes distant. "My people came to learn, to understand your kind, your world. We are observers, nothing more." "But you're more than just an observer," Ethan pressed. "You feel things, don't you?" Her eyes snapped to his, fear and curiosity battling within. "We are taught to control, to detach. Emotions cloud judgment, yet here you are," he whispered, his face leaning closer. "Feeling?" Ilara's lips parted, her breath hitching. "You confuse me." Her fingers tightened around the hammock's edge. "I've never felt this way before. It is dangerous." "Dangerous?" Ethan's brow furrowed. What could possibly be dangerous about this? She looked away, her shoulders tense. "We leave tomorrow. My people, we return to our world." His chest tightened, panic flooding his senses. "Tomorrow? No, you can't leave. Stay here. With me." His words came out before he could stop them. "I have plenty of space. You could, I don't know, stay at my place?" Ilara's face twisted in pain. "If I do that, if I choose to stay, I will be exiled. They will never let me return. I will be cut off from everything I've ever known." Her voice broke, vulnerability lacing every word. "I will be alone." "You won't be alone," Ethan vowed, his hand finding hers, fingers intertwining. "You'll have me. I'll take care of you. I don't care what it costs. I don't care how hard it gets. I'll protect you." His voice softened, a plea escaping his lips. "Just stay." Her body trembled, her blue eyes shimmering with unspoken emotions. You don't understand. If I stay, I become nothing. No home, no identity, just an outcast. Ethan's fingers tightened around hers. Then be nothing with me. I have more money than I could ever spend. I can give you everything you need. You'll never have to worry about a thing, ever. Just give us a chance. His voice dropped to a whisper. Give me a chance to love you. Tears slipped down her cheeks, glistening under the moonlight. You would do that for me? He leaned in, his forehead touching hers. I would do anything for you. A sob escaped her lips, her body collapsing into his arms. She was cold, fragile, yet so heartbreakingly real. Then, I will stay. Ethan pulled her close, his heart pounding with relief. We'll face it together. Whatever comes, I won't let you go. And he didn't. The next morning, as the alien delegation departed, one member was missing. Rumors spread, but no one spoke of Alara again. She was erased from her world, her existence denied. But on Earth, she found a new life, a life filled with warmth, laughter, and love. Alara struggled at first. Earth was strange, overwhelming. The noise, the colors, the smells, all of it was so different from her sterile, silent homeworld. The emotions were the hardest to navigate. On her planet, feelings were suppressed, controlled, muted, but here they were raw, wild, uncontrollable. She would feel joy so intense it made her heart race, then fear so deep it left her trembling. But Ethan was there, always there, guiding her, grounding her. He taught her how to live, how to be human. He showed her how to cook, though she burned more meals than she made. He took her to crowded markets where she tasted strange fruits that made her giggle. He held her hand as she learned to dance, her body awkward and stiff before finally letting go, moving freely to the music. Their days were filled with adventures. Ethan took her to the beach, where the ocean's waves terrified her at first, then captivated her as she learned to swim, the salt water embracing her in its cool depths. He bought her ice cream, laughing as she wrinkled her nose at the cold, before devouring the cone with childlike wonder. Nights were their sanctuary. In the safety of his home, they would lie on the floor, surrounded by pillows, looking up at the stars through the glass ceiling. Alara would trace constellations with her fingers, her voice soft as she spoke of galaxies far beyond Earth's reach. Ethan listened, fascinated, falling deeper in love with every whispered secret. They talked for hours about everything and nothing. Alara was curious, always questioning, her mind hungry for knowledge. She wanted to understand Earth, its history, its people, its cultures. Ethan became her teacher, her storyteller, weaving tales of humanity's triumphs and failures. In return, she shared pieces of herself, revealing fragments of her world, her past, her fears. She spoke of her isolation on her planet, the rigid rules, the emotionless existence she once knew. She confessed her fear of being exiled, of losing her identity, her place in the universe. But she also admitted that with Ethan, she had found a new identity, a new purpose. They grew closer, their bond deepening with each shared secret, every stolen touch. Alara learned to feel, truly feel. She laughed freely, her voice echoing through the halls of Ethan's mansion. She cried without shame, allowing herself to be vulnerable, to be human. And she loved, fiercely, completely, without holding back. Ethan showered her with affection, his adoration evident in every gesture, every whispered promise. He bought her gifts, clothes, books, jewelry. But it was his time, his patience, his unwavering support that meant the most to her. He made her feel safe, cherished, loved. They created a life together, a world of their own. Ethan taught her about Earth's customs, its holidays. Their first Christmas was magical. Alara marveled at the sparkling lights, the decorated tree, the warmth of the fireplace. She was fascinated by the tradition of gift-giving, her eyes lighting up as she unwrapped her presents, silly things like fuzzy socks and scented candles, but also a delicate necklace, a star-shaped pendant that reminded her of home. In return, she gave Ethan a handmade journal, filled with sketches of her world, her memories, her thoughts. She poured her heart into every page, wanting him to understand her, to see her fully. When he opened it, his eyes filled with tears, his arms pulling her close as he whispered his love. Time passed, seasons changing as they built a life together. Elara learned to navigate Earth, to blend in, to live among humans. She perfected her speech, hiding her accent, mastering human mannerisms. She was cautious, aware of the danger of discovery, but with Ethan by her side, she felt invincible. Their love was powerful, unbreakable. They were inseparable, facing every challenge together. Even when whispers spread, rumors about Ethan's mysterious companion, her strange beauty, her peculiar habits, they stood strong, defying the world. Ethan protected her fiercely, using his wealth and influence to shield her from prying eyes. He built a world where she was safe, loved, free. In return, Elara gave him her heart, her trust, her soul. One evening, under the stars, Ethan took her hand, his eyes burning with intensity. "Marry me," he whispered, his voice trembling. "Be mine, forever." Elara's breath caught, her heart pounding. "Ethan, I'm not human. I don't even know if I can marry you by your laws." "I don't care about laws," he said, his grip tightening. "I don't care about rules or planets or universes. I only care about you. I want you. I need you. For the rest of my life and beyond." Tears filled her eyes, her heart swelling with love. "Yes," she breathed, her lips curving into a radiant smile. "Yes, I'll marry you." They wed in a secluded garden, under the stars they both cherished. It was a small ceremony, intimate, private. Elara wore a flowing white gown, her pink hair cascading over her shoulders. Ethan couldn't take his eyes off her, his love evident in every stolen glance. They exchanged vows, promising to love, protect, and cherish each other for all eternity. When they kissed, the world melted away, leaving only them, two souls intertwined across space and time. Together, they built a life full of joy, laughter, and love. Elara found purpose, belonging, happiness. She embraced her new world, her new identity, her new life. Years passed, and they grew older, their love only deepening. They spent countless nights under the stars, lying in that same hammock, their fingers intertwined, their hearts beating as one. One night, as they lay together, Elara looked up at the sky, her eyes reflecting the cosmos. "I never knew love could feel like this," she whispered, her voice soft. Ethan pulled her closer, his lips brushing her forehead. "I never knew love could find me from beyond the stars," and under that vast, infinite sky, they stayed together, bound by a love that defied worlds.